Hello everyone, and welcome to Jumperman Tech, where we specialize in HVAC. We do everything DIY, and today we're going to be upgrading this thermostat to a Honeywell Home T4 Pro. Thank you to everyone tuning in to Jumperman Tech. We're going to be installing the Honeywell T4 Pro for a water source heat pump. It serves this switchgear room, pretty interesting room. And we're going to be upgrading this thermostat right here. All right, first things first, we're going to turn the power off to the system. There we go. There's our supply duct, fan stopped, and we're good to go. You're going to want to kill the transformer in your system to make sure power is off, and you do this safely and don't create any other unnecessary issues. This is a pretty basic thermostat. I'm gonna show you how to wire it and how to program it according to the type of system you have, and this can be used also in a residential application. After a little while, as you see in this case, we lost a display, so we know we lost power, which is good. But you might have batteries in yours, so you might not know. You could just easily take off the faceplate. You're gonna have a bunch of wiring terminations here, but you're gonna be looking for R and C, and you're gonna wanna put your meter on volts, AC, find R and C. We're gonna put between the two, no power, and we are safe to work here. You're gonna wanna take a picture of your wiring terminations, because right here, I'm noticing I have two red wires, so you gotta make sure you put things back in the right spot. This black wire goes to common, C. This red wire goes to RC, which has a jumper between RC and RH, basically the same terminal. You have a green wire that goes to, should be G, which is your fan, right? And you have another red wire, which goes to OB, which is gonna be your reversing valve. And then you have this wire, which looks like an off-white, which goes to Y1. You have two of the same colors. You could use tape or something to let you know that is the wire you're working with. So let's say for our power wire, I could just put a black marking here with the marker, so we know that's gonna be our R for power. The other red wire is gonna be for our reversing valve, O/B terminal, because this is a heat pump. If it wasn't a heat pump, your heat would be between W1, first stage heating, possibly also W2, second stage heating. The same terminal for W1, it has E, could be for emergency heat, and so forth. Anyways, let's get a thermostat screwdriver. This is an electronics screwdriver, and we're gonna start taking off the terminals. Loosen up the wires. Okay, that's done. We got two wires here. Two screws here. Let's hope it fits in this box. Got two screws here. We can unhook this thing. This is pretty much free. Why do we have two red wires? Because they actually ran two cables here. I don't know why. Here's your new thermostat. Pretty cool. Comes with batteries. You could put them in. You don't necessarily need them because we have a common here that will supply power all the time as long as you have 24 volts. But anyways, we're gonna put the batteries in there. Came with it. Might as well. Okay, so that's that. And you're gonna have this base right here. If you can see, one side says up, so that side is gonna face up. All right, this piece right here is pretty interesting, the way that they do this now. So this is where you're gonna run the wires through. I'm gonna open that up. So it's gonna go like this. When you wanna mount it, you literally just hook it on, and that's done. So we're gonna take the wires out. right, R for power, C for black. So they ran this extra wire just for that OB terminal. So we got that going. What we're gonna wanna do is to get these wires through here in the back. Okay, same for this one. Let's start with this. And you're gonna want to basically, don't exactly go by color, because you can see we have two reds here. Use the color as reference, but you're gonna wanna see what it's terminated as. So this wire that went to R and RC is gonna go to R in this case. So let's see if we might need to strip these back. These are pretty easy. You just press the tab here, stick the wire in, see if it fits. Yes, it does. Let go, and it holds. Super simple. I like to put the connections like this when it's loose, so I can play around with it, because then if not, you're gonna be super tight working in here. Maybe a pair of needle nose might help you. So we're pretty much just gonna match the wires to their according terminals. So super simple. Push down this tab, push it in. There's nothing to screw in with this one. Not the biggest fan of that, but it works. Now we have this wired. Let's go ahead and put these screws back. Luckily, everything matches up. Perfect. So we're gonna tighten this up and we're gonna be okay. Okay. Fun part is the programming. Right there. Tighten that up. We're gonna be good to go. Make sure it's straight and leveled, and you do your thing. Just a little closer up view so you can see what's going on. There's a tab here. You press that down, right? Press that down, and you stick your wire in through this little hole right here. So while you push it down, you push it in, the space little opens up, you let go, and it holds it tight. Everything looks nice and neat. Close it up, and you have these pins going through there. That's where the thermostat is gonna mount onto. You see those pins? You're gonna wanna get that on there and push it on, make sure it's straight. And that's it. Now, it's all about your instructions. As far as here, see it says 2016 blinking. Let's see, but there's a negative and a positive button. Let's see, positive, we're gonna bring the numbers up to 2025. We are in the future. And over here you see it says select. We're gonna select that. Then we're gonna set the date. Today's June. And negative, we'll bring that down. Christian, today's the 5th, right?
Correct.
That's right, Nintendo Switch 2 just came out today. All right, we're gonna click select. 12 hours is pretty much standard, or if you click this arrow, your 24-hour clock if you're like army time, but we're gonna go with the 12-hour clock. Time, Christian, tell me the time.
It's currently 8:47.
8:47 a.m. So we've done the 8, select, and then we're gonna bring that up to 47. Just gonna hold that down till we reach that. 47, click select, save. Now we're in the programming. See, it says 120 and then 3. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, we're gonna need to go through all these programs here. So it says ISU Hopefully you can see 120, and that's going to represent scheduling options. 0 would be non-programmable, 2 would be the 5 to 2 programmable, 3 5-1-1 programmable, 4 would be 7-day programmable. We don't want to program in here, so we're gonna go with 0. I'm gonna show you guys clearer pictures of this as well. So let's go down. So 120, we're gonna go 0, and that's gonna mean we want no schedule. We're gonna click select, and we're gonna move along. Now 125. What does 125 stand for? Is your temperature scale indication. 0 is Fahrenheit, 1 is Celsius. We got 0 here. We're gonna click select. 200. This is probably the most important one. You're gonna wanna know what kind of system you have. So 1 is conventional forced air heat. 2 would be heat pump, 3 would be radiant heat, 5 would be just cool only. You know, this is actually a heat pump, but we don't use the heat for this room. This room gets really hot. You really only need cooling here. It generates a lot of heat, but it is a heat pump. And that's very common these days. Let's go with 2. $205, heating equipment type. You're gonna wanna find which one is for you. All right. 7 will be air-to-air heat pump. That could work for air-cooled or water-cooled, really doesn't matter. 2018. This one's important. Your reversing valve. 0 says O/B in cool, and 1 says O/B in heat. So with setting this, it will send power to the OB terminal. Let's say 0, OB in cool, that means OB is energized. It has 24 volts being applied in cool mode. So this is gonna depend on your system manufacturer. Some need power in cool, some don't. So you're gonna wanna check with your system, but this is a very important one. Let's say you put it in cooling, it works, but then in heating, you still got cooling. You're gonna wanna change the setting to the other one. Let's say you chose 0 and it's not working in heat, switch it to 1. Okay, select, we're gonna go with the first one, and then you can test that, 2018. 2018, select. Then 220, cooling stages. One cooling stage. 300, so you're gonna have to base this based on your system. System changeover. 0 is manual. We want them to do it themselves. I'm gonna show you all the pictures here so you know exactly what you're doing, and you can make it work for yourself. 365 compressor cycle rate. So this limits the maximum number of times the system can cycle in an hour. I'm gonna give it the maximum, which is 6 times. I'm sure there's units on and off. 387, compressor protection. So let's say you have honestly there's protection on the board, it would actually completely lock you out. But let's say you have like low pressure or high pressure, you really don't want that compressor turning on and off every like couple seconds when the pressure equalizes in the system. So like this, protects the compressor from short cycling on and off. So it gives you, let's say in this case, 5 minutes to, reset the system. No compressor protection because we have it in our system. It's not even gonna allow it to reset, and I don't feel like waiting that 5 minutes, so 0. 430, minimum cool set point. You see, this was their real problem. They couldn't set that other thermostat below 72, and a lot of these thermostats have these crazy passcodes on them that somebody set, and you know, in that case, it's faster to change and cheaper to change the thermostat to a new one where you can set it yourself with no passwords or anything than to call Brayburn, who probably got half a person working in there. Ain't nobody gonna help you over there. This is the faster option. I'll give them the option for 60. This 431 is gonna be the maximum heat set point. I mean, you can do 60, 90, but no one's gonna do it. Let's give them the option. Now, what is that, 435? Keypad lockout, 0, none. 702. Number of air filters. 0 air filters. You don't need those reminders. 1410. Clock format, 12 hour. Okay, I'm gonna click select. 1415. Daylight savings is 1. All right, we got daylight savings. 1420. Temperature display offset, 0. Select. Are you done? Click select. We are done. Beautiful. Look, temperature already raised 4 degrees since we had this off for a couple of minutes. All right, let's go ahead and turn the power back on the system and make sure we got cooling. All right, let's do it. There we go. There we go. Let's see what's going on. We don't use heat in this system, so there's not really anything to check there. I mean, you could try it, but we don't use heat in this system. So when you're using a heat pump and you're doing all these settings, you really want to make sure that you have the reversing valve in the right setting. So if it doesn't work, switch the setting and you're probably gonna be all right. A lot of people have trouble with that. So we're gonna go to mode, cool, okay. And we have it set to 80 something. Let's bring that down to 70. Fan is in auto, so when the cooling starts, the fan will start. And let's see what happens. When it's blinking, it didn't get the call. You see how it says blinking? It says cool on, and it's blinking. It's going through a timer. So once that stops and it's a steady cool on, then you know it hit. Fan is gonna start with this system, and then a couple minutes later, your compressor will start. We'll check temps, and we'll be good to go. All right, everything is on. All right, there. We already dropped another degree. Perfect. I can feel the cooling literally just by standing from here, and we are good to go. That is how you install a Honeywell T4 Pro thermostat. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. And I'll catch you all next time.